You just asked my opinion, and you're telling me I'm wrong?
Welcome to the creative world.
To the creative world. It happens so much. Have you ever gotten fired?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, let's go.
Congrats.
Let's keep that streak going.
I'm a hard worker.
Well, I'm a procrastinator, but I get it done.
See, I'm healthy, and so I work a little bit on my projects every night until like 9 p.m., and then I go to bed at a healthy time.
To you, what does it mean to be a creative? What you're doing is unique to you.
Yeah.
Keep pushing and keep pursuing, because there are people that need your specific sets of talents and gifts, and might I add, your story and your personality every day impacting people with who you are. That's what's important, not necessarily just the creative work that you do.
Yeah.
We are created by God to create with a driven purpose.
Number one tip.
Just start making stuff.
How do we seek? How do we ask for wisdom?
That's such a good question.
Have fun being what God has called you to be as a creative.
Mic drop. Gabrielle, what's your favorite airline?
Whatever my mom pays for.
Oh my God.
That's a good answer right there.
Answer.
That's a good college age answer.
I think we have an American Airlines credit card, so I guess American Airlines.
Yeah, you're
They're
good.
okay.
I appreciate the layover in Atlanta where you have to sprint like 6 miles in 20 minutes to your next flight.
That's why you take American though. They have the most like direct.
They really do. That's been my one qualm with Delta. They don't have a direct between Chicago and LA.
I love
that's
Atlanta,
my biggest
but
flight.
not that much.
I know, right?
I don't mind.
You do get sick of it.
I had the Delta Sky Club like card for the longest time, and so I would plan my trips to have a longer layover just so I'd be like, okay, I'm having lunch, and then now I'm jumping on the next plane.
True.
So
That's actually
I'd
smart.
make it like a day, and then I was like, this is a lot.
Yeah, because if you get like a 30-minute layover, you're screwed.
Yeah, because you're running basically.
Exactly. Okay, guys. So this is Elle, my cousin, and this is my friend Lance. Welcome to another episode of Created to Create. We're on a new season, actually. So we wrapped season 1, which was 15 episodes, and we're on to season 2 now. And if you hadn't watched season 1, definitely go back and watch, because there are so many good conversations and testimonies and honestly like good tips and tricks for all sorts of creatives, from musicians, videographers, photographers, and even a psychologist as well. And so yeah, just jam packed with like a lot of great conversation. And if you did listen to that and supported the season 1, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It's just kind of crazy to see how many people actually do want to listen to those conversations and listen to testimony about like what God's doing and how the creative industry is kind of shaping up and how we can be kingdom builders in that. So it's really exciting, and I'm really stoked for season 2. One of the biggest things I'm really excited for is this new type of episode. I'm calling them homie episodes. We'll see if it sticks, but essentially my goal with them is to be like a little bit shorter in length, way more candid. So a lot more personality you can expect from these. And I think the goal is to just kind of create a little more camaraderie of conversation and bring on some homies of mine just to chat about life and like their creative endeavors and how they're learning and growing. And hopefully we'll be able to answer some questions as well. I'll be using social media a lot more to interact with you guys and kind of hear what you guys want to hear about and different things that could be valuable to you as you guys pursue your creative careers or just pursue the Lord and whatever venture you're doing or whatever thing that you're a part of. So yeah, starting off with some candid honesty. I'm talking a lot right now, and I usually don't talk this much. And so it's definitely a little bit out of the comfort zone for me to do a podcast like this and even just chat a lot. I usually like to interview people. I love to conversate. And so this is a little out of the comfort zone, but hopefully it'll be valuable for you guys. So go ahead.
Hit on that. Like I like that because you never know when someone's going to find a podcast and start listening from that point on, and then maybe go, man, I have no idea what maybe he did talk about himself. Maybe his history's in there. Like, how many episodes I have to watch before I find it? And they might want to know it. So it's good to have the host sometimes just even recircle and bring up new content or the same conversation again. Because sometimes you get a new listener who doesn't know anything about you, then they're like, here we go.
Dude, that's actually so good, and I appreciate you saying that.
No problem.
Because one, it's important for me to learn that, and two, my first question for you guys was, what do you think of the podcast, and like, what are your raw thoughts on it? Elle, your turn. This is Elle's first podcast, by the way.
Like,
right?
On one or listening to it?
Like on one.
Yeah, she's never been on one before.
Are you regularly on podcasts? Is it like a thing you people do?
No, but this is technically the second one this weekend. Never done it before, and this is my second one.
You're a seasoned pro, bro.
I guess one and done.
Dude,
one
you're not even sweating.
Yeah, no.
Podcasts are like
and it's humid
very
here in
millennial.
Florida. What'd you say?
Podcasts are very millennial. I feel like Gen Z doesn't do podcasts. We don't make them.
No, I
one
feel
day
like
you're gonna
Gen
have
Z does a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, one day you're gonna have questions, and then you're gonna find the answer on a podcast and go, man, they might have more information than I need to know.
No, I like listening to podcasts.
And that's what's gonna happen.
I like listening to them.
You'll get to an age where you're like, now I have something to say. Let's bring this up.
What's your favorite podcast? Not including this one, because obviously this one's probably your favorite.
Right.
I'm her favorite cousin, by the way. Aren't I?
I played the fifth.
Ouch.
That's a rough one to take in.
Put an audio clip in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's the next thing I need to get. I need to get a soundboard.
Someone just sitting there in the corner. All right.
For now, Lance, your job is to do the
sound effects. Gotcha,
you have the
gotcha.
sound effects.
Just
Yeah.
like
She might say something like really sad, and then it's like, burr, 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 burr. Like, nope, wrong one.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, Okay, what's your favorite podcast? We're on a time limit here, so you gotta speak fast.
oh well, because you're talking over me. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
I like Emma Chamberlain's. It's kind of dope. And I don't know the name of it. I think it's called Unfiltered. No.
I haven't heard it.
Where it's like Keith.
Urban.
It's like the David. It's like no. It's like
She's
David.
like, who?
It's like David Dobrik's old squad. There's like 4 of them, and Brittany Broski. I don't know.
Oh, okay,
it's
okay.
silly. It's not a self-help podcast. It's silly talk.
Honestly, the best ones are silly.
I don't need self-help. I'm great enough as I am.
You're crushing it, honestly. Gabrielle is a freshman in college. She's going. Can I say the university you're going to?
Yeah. Just hopefully no one stalks me and kills me.
Yeah. Please, guys, be nice.
Don't come kidnap me.
She goes to SCAD in Savannah, which stands for the Savannah
College of Art and Design.
College of Art and Design. I was going to say school. I'm like, no, that's wrong. Savannah College of Art and Design, and you're pursuing a degree in fashion marketing, right?
And management.
And management. How are you feeling in that?
It's a fire major. I like the classes a lot.
Yeah?
I've only taken 1 fashion marketing class. So.
You're not stressed at all, I can tell.
No.
I heard the pressure is on there.
That's SCAD?
Yes.
Well, it's supposed to, well, okay, first of all, it's my freshman year, so, like, there's not that much homework. But I know that, like, as you get into your major classes, like, you have projects that you quite literally just, like, have to pull all-nighters for. Like, you have no choice because there's just so much homework because there's no tests, so it's all projects.
Jeez. Is right.
It sounds like the real world sometimes. I mean, I have clients where they're like, hey, that was due tomorrow. You're like, oof.
I know, right? You get
I'm
thrown back
editing
into the college days. You're like,
night.
oh, shoot. What happens if I miss this deadline? Do I, like, get a B
if that's,
instead
just
of
know
an
that's
A?
a skill. It's going to benefit you one day.
True.
If you can do that.
True.
Some people can't do that. And they're just like, no, I just didn't do it. Like, how did you not
That's
do that?
me. That's me, guys. I am a procrastinator. I'll say it.
Oh, I'm a procrastinator.
Yeah.
But I get it done.
Well, that's where
The
I'm
last
getting.
second.
That's where I'm getting at
The
now.
last second
Yeah,
it
yeah.
gets done.
See, I'm healthy, and so I work a little bit on my projects every night until like 9 p.m.
Oh,
And then I go to bed at a healthy time.
that's how you do it.
Guys, be like Elle.
Yeah. don't
Be like
that.
Gabrielle.
Be like me.
Do we
Yeah.
do we call you Gabrielle or Elle on
I
this?
don't know. What do you want?
Elle. We'll go with Elle. It's
Okay.
short and sweet.
Plus,
like
my fashion accounts are Elle Glunz Fashion.
Oh yeah. Follow her, guys. Elle Glunz Fashion.
At Elle Glunz Fashion.
She's
He's gonna put it right here on the lower third.
Yep.
Click
right
the
there.
click the
It's gonna be
button.
on. Yeah, there
like
it is.
the old
That's the
YouTube.
lower third. Right
Click
there.
the button right here to subscribe.
And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Make sure to like and subscribe down below.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Because you're trying to get to how many subscribers? Does it matter? Or do you have a goal?
5 million by the end of the year.
Okay, all right, yeah.
It's
So we're trying to
attainable,
get to
right?
that.
He's trying to make disciples of every nation.
Yeah, we're just trying to run the numbers up. That's all we're trying to do.
We
It's the name of the game.
We just want to monetize.
Yeah.
Mega church? What? No?
Mega church. Lance, you worked for a mega church, didn't you?
I've worked for a few.
If you're in Jacksonville, you know Lance. Lance is the video production guy here.
I'm
I actually
finding-
met
I'm
you.
finding
I only
that
met
out.
you because I was here doing a personal project, and I rented stuff off of ShareGrid, and you
What did
happened to
rent?
be the
A
guy.
tripod or the stand? No, you rented
I
my...
rented a tripod, and
a
I rented
light?
some like tube lights from you, like some aperture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You rented those, and then you were like, "Yeah, I have. I rented C stands too." And I was like, "I had those."
I know.
Too.
I didn't see them on the ShareGrid site though.
They were there. I gotta.
You know where I
redo
got those C stands
it.
from,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
You know
I
it's
the
infamous.
chicken farm. Yeah.
It's a chicken farm out on the west side of Jacksonville. It's out in the middle of nowhere. And you drive on this chicken farm, and you drive to the very back, and they just have like 3 grip trucks back there.
I live in Jacksonville, and I know Southern Grip, but I had no idea about the chicken farm. So you
Yeah,
told
you
me
were
about it. And I was
surprised.
like, "Wait, Charlie has chicken farms?" And then I
Apparently,
just
it
was
was
with him
something
last
during
week.
COVID.
I was with him
Yeah,
last
you
week,
started
and
it.
he's like, "I need to get y'all some chickens." And I was like, "I've heard." Apparently, he's like, "You'll never go back."
Can you even
So
have chickens in your neighborhood?
No, no. He was
No.
talking about cooking them for me.
Oh, cooking
He was like,
them.
"I'm gonna
Oh,
get you
yeah.
some." I was like, "What?" I thought you just had it for the eggs. He's like, "No. We'll eat them too." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
That's funny.
I
But
said,
yeah,
I asked him if I could put that in his quote. He's like, "Yeah, my day rate's X," and I was like, "What's it with X and chickens?" Like,
yeah. How
what's-
many chickens?
How do you
are
mix
a
it together?
Part of that.
I've never seen that before.
It's a good business combo. But yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah.
So we ended up just talking in
Small
your
world.
driveway like
Yep,
for 30 minutes.
that's usually how it goes. I live on the bottom.
That's beautiful though. I will say, like, on a personal note, I have loved, like, my favorite part is the people that I meet along the way, and that's cheesy, but I really truly love that because it gives me opportunities to meet new people in places that I would never think possible.
Yep.
You know, and just keep an open mind about who I'm running into, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, honestly, ShareGrid is there to rent my gear, but people
That's how you
fly
make friends?
in. Yeah, well, people fly in from California. Most people who rent that gear are coming from California who know what ShareGrid is, because Jacksonville's not a big film community
Yeah.
thing, so it's like no one's really renting
Clearly,
my gear from here.
Chicken farms, man.
Yeah, no one's really renting gear here. So usually, like, we had a music video with UD, not UD. Bring
It's
it back.
okay. Lance is dyslexic, by the way.
Yeah, DU no. Who was it? I'm gonna go blank. It's gonna be a bad thing.
What type of artist?
Oh, it was rap. And it was
Christian
not
rap?
Christian rap.
Not Christian.
No, it's hold on. I can't do this because
All right, while Lance is
yeah, y'all are gonna
looking
be
up
like, no. They're gonna be like, how does he not remember that? I'll be like, and it's a big one because so it was the clients were like, hey, we're coming in, we want to rent your gear. Can we just you just want to LD it? And I was like, yeah, Yo Gotti. Why did I forget that?
I don't know why.
Well, yeah, and that was in like the bad part of Jax. So, but I got that connection because of ShareGrid.
Oh, that's
So some people are like, why do you still have it up? Are you trying to like make a lot of money? I'm like, not really. I just meet a lot of people though who want to use
yeah,
my
it's
gear.
it's got two.
That's
two
the full
purposes.
circle. That was a
This
very long
episode is
circle.
sponsored by ShareGrid.
Hey, sponsor us.
Please
Give me some.
We're gonna pause
take
real
some
quick
of
from
the-
a
take some of
quick
those
message for our
fees off
sponsors.
and give me some more of that money back. I don't make that much money off of it, but I'm like, all right, I'll take whatever I can.
Might as well. Gabrielle, I got a question for you. What is the biggest frustration you have right now with going into a creative industry? What really grinds your gears?
With fashion marketing, since it's like kind of creative, it's like both sides of the brain almost. Within fashion marketing, we'll be talking about things like, oh, what's your opinion on this trend? And then it's like someone's like, now, like, you literally, people think they're like,
I'm sorry.
Who was that?
Speaking of being candid, my uncle, Gabrielle's dad, just shimmied across the floor so that he wouldn't interrupt this episode, and that was the cutest thing ever. That was amazing.
Is that
Thank you,
camera still
Kevin.
going? All right, you got a couple more minutes still.
Anyway, sorry.
But a big thing with fashion marketing is like trend forecasting and then discussing like the Met Gala and trends and fashion events happening in time and like the marketing for it. And so we'll be like, oh, what did you think about this trend and this marketing? And you'll be like, I didn't like it, or I really like it. And then someone's going to be like, no. Especially like some professors, they'll be like, no. You just asked my opinion and you're telling me I'm wrong?
Welcome to the creative world.
To the creative world. It happens so much. I can't tell you how many times that I get shut down on ideas from non-creative people because they're holding on to like certain ideas that were cool 5, 10, 15 years ago, and they have closed minds. But that's just the world for you.
If you think that'll change, I'm so sorry.
It won't.
That will not go away.
That's when I just...
We're here to help change it, but...
Yeah. Honest, that would
you win some, you lose some. It's not. It's gonna get ugly before it gets better.
If you do,
but
little,
that's
like,
exciting.
if you do little reels that like show the preview, that should be the clip. That's the one we want to know. What's the frustrations? It's yes, people don't like my opinions and stuff. Yeah,
it sucks, but it's what happens.
It's worth it though.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
It is worth
There's
it.
Hope.
It's worth it. Keep going.
I don't know. I'm kind
And
of only my
to
first
anybody
year of
else
college.
that's out there pursuing your dreams, keep going. It is worth it. It really is, because at the end of the day, it's the creative and innovative people, the people that think outside the box, divergence, as they call them. You know what I mean? I really like Divergent.
I did. No,
bro.
yeah. When
Like,
you
I
brought that
watched it
reference
recently.
up, I was like, no, that's a great.
I honestly love those movies now. I like
I
watching
always
them again.
wondered if it was like a creative would watch that and go, yeah, that's me. Because we feel like we could see other perspectives or all of them. When some people are stuck on like certain perspectives, and you're like, yeah, but I needed to reach X, Y, and Z people, not just like you.
Yeah.
And if you can see it this certain way or that way, it's fine. But I'm not really just trying to reach just you then.
Yeah.
Which is why I like that movie.
Hey Ben,
No,
your friend is getting our couch dirty with his shoes.
Oh my goodness.
it's okay.
He's like staring us down.
We have a vacuum. We'll be okay.
If
If the dog can be on the
allowed to
couch, he can put his shoes on the couch.
Your shoes and the dog are like so different.
Anyway, guys, trying to keep this short for you so that you're not listening to us for hours. It is worth it. It is worth it. Keep pushing and keep pursuing, because there are people that need your specific sets of talents and gifts, and might I add, your story and your personality, because that's what makes the world different, is pursuing that and sharing that. Not only just, on say a podcast like this where you're actually talking about it, but every day impacting people with who you are. That's what's important, not necessarily just the creative work that you do.
Yeah, I think that's I'm like recently getting into like listening to podcasts, and that's the value I get out of it, is when you listen to so many, you kind of get other perspectives, and then you're like, oh, I kind of agree with that. So let me keep, and then you like, I'm learning through them, which I feel like as a creative, I'll either get into like reading books, courses or something, and then podcasts right now, the new like, okay, this actually has some information in here.
Yeah.
And then it makes me think like, I've talked to people and they've kind of had the same like thought I'm having right now, where I'm like, I don't share any of this with just with a couple people here and there, but I'm like, I wonder who else would
helps to have
value,
affirmations and that. Yeah.
It's not that I need the affirmation, it's just like I've gone through some stuff, and then coming out on the other side, you're just like, oh, this could help a lot more people. And I've heard that, what I just said, I've heard a lot of people say it, and I just don't believe it. I'm just like, yeah, right, I have nothing to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
you do, Lance. You do have something to say.
I guess I grew up
So
I grew up in the church world though, where it's kind of like if you got outspoken a little bit, you kind of got in trouble. So that little like, just like, hey, as a church creative, you got pressed.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you said something wrong, you might get called into the office, and you're just like, man, I was just trying to like share something, but apparently that's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
it's like tough to ask questions sometimes in like certain Christian environments. It's viewed as like toxic sometimes, when in fact, in reality, God calls us to ask those questions, and actually there's a difference between doubt and like seeking the truth. And in seeking the truth, you're going to ask questions that the answers have to define the line between truth and lie. And so you have to go and ask those tough questions.
Yep. Sometimes people don't like to hear it.
Sometimes they don't.
But then you realize that's how they were raised too. That was another thing I learned in church, where it's like a lot of people were like, dude, you have to give them grace because that's all they were taught. And you're just like, man, that's sad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm asking questions and being told, hey, you can't do that. And then I'm like, okay. And then someone's like, bro, they probably did the same thing.
Yeah.
And they probably were told, be quiet.
Yep.
And you're like, man, that.
And it's sad
hurts.
too, because then you just get a lot of people that are getting burnt out,
Yep.
like creatives that are getting burnt out, and other people too, like just churchgoers that get burnt out and they don't want to go to church anymore.
And that's
I actually want your take on this, bro,
Yeah.
because you are someone that's like you've been in church, you've been a church creative, a volunteer church creative, a hired on staff church creative, now someone who's like, you're running your own business and working for people and still working for some churches and doing work. But it's so interesting because I do see Christian creatives, we'll just talk about them specifically, Christian people in general, but Christian creatives, I feel like we get pigeonholed into like two extremes. We either feel like as a Christian creative, we have to work for a church to like fulfill our calling and fulfill our like ministry as a Christian.
Yeah.
Or we have people that get burnt out or just like get really angry at the church, and then they're like, well, I'm just gonna go like be excellent in my job and my career and make a lot of money, but like Jesus is an afterthought.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know, what do you think about that? Because to me it's like a sad reality.
I see it. From my side of it, I do feel like, core memory would be when I was growing up, kind of getting out of like elementary school, middle school, and then high school doing media. I remember some lady saying like, wow, you're gonna use your talents for God. And I never thought about actually going into media ever. Like, I was just like, okay, I did broadcast media in high school, and then I just made a couple lyric videos for the church here, or did something fun here and there. But like, that thought's been stuck with me, and I feel like, I don't know if a lot of creatives have that, or I feel like a lot of church creatives do have that feeling where they're like, somewhere deep inside, I really felt called and that I was supposed to come work for this church and or help them, and something goes wrong, church hurt a lot. It seems like, it's more common nowadays, and a lot more people are talking about it, and a lot more things are coming out. So sometimes people go, that church hurt me, I never want to get hurt again, I'm leaving altogether.
Just
like,
written
I
off.
could make more money, I don't need to deal with this, I'm out. And so I think it's almost like a coping mechanism to go, well, the church and God hurt me, so I'm out, and I'm gonna go watch me be successful somewhere else. But I think
kind of in spite of you, like,
Yes.
constantly looking over your shoulder, like, look what I'm doing.
Like, I'll never do it again. But then I can hire some of those people, and I'm like, hey, if I pay you X, Y, and Z, you watch them go, well, yeah, of course I'll do that. I'm like, okay, so you're just like, but I'm valuing you because your price is that, and I'll pay it. Like, I'll pay your price, and you feel like, okay. And I think when I was in ministry, it was, I'm a creative, I do creative work, and you could never bring up the money conversation about your salary because you do ministry.
Yeah, it's very
so if I
taboo.
can pay a creative to help me do a church project, and I go, hey, I'll pay your value, your worth. It's not like that's all this is about, but it's like ministry, I don't think, understand when they're undervaluing, underpaying creatives. They feel like I bring a lot to the table, but pay wise, I don't feel like it's valued in the hard work I'm putting in. I know a lot of people, you can put that in any job, but I don't think, like, I put this perspective. Worship team get up on stage, do worship. The pastor can come on stage. Guys, can we just give it up for like the worship team? Like, we just have a great worship team. Yeah. And someone could be like, man, you really sang great this week. And then the maybe one or two people might watch like a big announcement video or something y'all did and go, hey, I saw that. That was good. Yeah,
that was
it's like, so.
And it's not like it's about that recognition.
It's not, but that's where it's like, you can hear the worship team person go like, man, you don't need us to always tell you that, right? I'm like, well, not that I don't need that, but you get it all the time, so you're not struggling with what I'm struggling with. Like, I don't even know if I'm adding value to my church right now.
You don't have, do something. You need, if nothing else, you need a positive feedback loop. Yeah. Like, everybody, I'm learning that in just like very beginner leadership of business.
Yeah.
Like anybody that's working for me, and it's so hard to do. Like we have to acknowledge that it's hard to do, but like I'm learning that if someone's working for me, not only do I need to say something positive before something negative, but if they did something good, that feedback loop has to be instant. It has to be like right after they do it, there has to be like, dude, great job. You did that amazingly. And I don't want to take that away from you.
I think there's one situation that's coming back to my memory. One of our creative guys kind of got like rushed. You got 3 weeks to do this, or you got 3 weeks.
Tough.
And then it turned into you got tomorrow. And they were like, are you
could be a whole
serious? And I just remember thinking like, hey, we need to like tell them we recognize that they crushed that. Like that was a lot. That was a big ask, and it sucked. And we should probably be telling them like that. That was just good job.
Yeah.
Like not just on the like, hey, you actually did a really good video, whatever. It's just like, wow, you actually turned that around, and we recognize that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And I've had some people go, nah, they don't need to hear that. They know I value them. I'm like, dude, I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Like it's still nice to hear as a creative. Like even if something sucked, it's still nice to hear. Even better, more at that point.
Yeah.
I want to hear that you know that you put pressure on me, and that was a lot.
Yeah.
So,
but that's like, it's about like when you have a team too, you want people that are able to respond to pressure. Like pressure is good, but if it's toxic pressure and you're not following that up with camaraderie of like, you accomplished this, that was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, because then it becomes, I mean, I can see why it happens, but you need it because then that'll actually build that person up to do better in like all their other projects.
Or just know that you recognize it hurt or it was a lot.
Yeah.
Because you could have someone sitting there going, are they going to ask for that again? Like, do they realize how hard that was? And if you don't go to them and say, I'm like, no, I saw it. I knew it. Like, sorry that happened almost. But good job, but sorry that happened. Like, they might feel a little sense of relief going, okay, they saw that. They understand.
Yeah, bro. It's a lot. It's just, I don't know. We all need to be better about all of that, and just encouraging one another instead of just like tearing each other down. Yeah. You know, and that doesn't always have to be like verbal too. It's like actionable.
Yeah.
Respect.
Yep.
Well, I do have an official question for you guys to kind of like wrap this up. It's nothing terrible. Don't worry. Don't be scared. You look so scared.
What was the last job you got fired from, and why? Wait a minute.
Have you ever gotten fired?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, well, let's go.
Congrats.
Let's keep that streak going.
I'm a hard worker. Why would I ever get fired? I did quit after working at Dunkin' Donuts for 2 weeks.
I think I would quit if I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. This is Benji, by the way.
Hi, Benji. Say something. No, you don't want to say anything?
Benji's shy.
No.
But he also loves and craves attention.
Most dogs.
All right, my question to you guys is, what does it mean? Oh, there he goes. My question to you guys is, to you, what does it mean to be a creative? Ladies first.
I was like, I just spoke
there you
for
go.
like 10 minutes. So
Chris was like, I gotta bring some water.
No, I was like, I probably wasn't. That's not doing that noise. I've heard that before. I'm like, oh, I know, like self-consciously knowing that I need some.
Don't be cringe, man.
I guess like just being a creative, it's like being someone who's willing to pursue what a lot of the world considers like a hobby, even though like those are jobs that are needed within our world to make it like work. And so like being willing to pursue something that is not a promised money and like be your conventional college degree. And also just like because with social media now, like being so creative within social media, like it's a still kind of newer concept. So like having that, it's like an uncrossed land, I guess.
You got to be like innovative too in the way that you do it, because there, like you said, there isn't a set way of doing things that's maybe like established already, or it's not. There may be ways that are established, but they're not widely educated for you to figure out. I like that. I agree with it.
I mean, someone has to make it. I think that was the growing up doing like church work, like as a job, I was like, I would never say I'm a creative. I just say, no, I'm a videographer. They asked me to do a job, I shoot it and I edit it and I did the job. Like I would just say this is my job. And now I'm realizing like, okay, everything I've been through, everything I've learned, everything I've like skill set I've learned to make something where people go, oh, I never saw it that way. That's when I'm like, okay, well that's like my creative, like that's how I'm processing it and that's how I'm putting it out there. And someone's got to create it and someone's got to inspire someone else to do it. And so I think there's, you'll see something, you're like, that's actually really good. And you're like, okay, let's just go down the list of like, how do you think that happened? Okay, well, someone shot it. Okay, well, someone post-production thought of it. And then someone has probably, it's not taking this lightly, but it's not like an intern just said, you know what, it's possible. It's not like an intern just like with no experience went, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And then just fresh out of like high school.
Just makes it happen.
You're like, well, no one's done that. It's just someone who's gone through a lot of it. And if they did just come out of high school and they knocked it out, you're just like, oh, you're a prodigy. You're like, wow, that's awesome. But just like you're creating your like life experiences and stuff. So
yeah,
that's why I kind of see my job as a little more, I'm actually starting to say, okay, I'm creative because I'm seeing the content I can put out that other people either can't compete, but it's just like my style is just very like, oh, I notice things that others don't notice. So it's not about, oh, look at like how good it was. It's just, wow, you've put a lot of work into that and you've learned a lot of skills. Yeah.
It's unique. That's where I like not draw the line. That's where I define it. It's what you're doing is unique to you. Yeah. And it's unique to, that's why I say like your story is unique and it's important is because that's what being creative is about. To me personally is because like the main reason I started this podcast and called it Created to Create is because we are created by the creator to create and that gives us a unique blueprint and purpose. And so it's just like, yeah, of course you're creative because you're figuring out your own way of doing something, your own way of like telling a story. 10 people can go take a photo. It's going to come out 10 unique different ways. No one's going to take the same photo. Even if they use the same exact camera, it's not going to become the same. I've seen that. So it's really cool to me to watch the creative nature of anybody take shape. Even like you go through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A and you put 10 different people taking an order who have been given a script. They're all, whether they know it or not, they're all going to put their unique spin on it. And you're going to get a unique experience with each and every one of them because we're not all created the same. We're all created equal, but not the same.
Nice save.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for hopping on and just talking candidly. This has been fun. I like these. I'm definitely going to do more.
Productions gear. I'm just kidding.
What's up?
It's sponsored by Asper Productions gear.
100% sponsored by Asper Productions gear. If you're in Jacksonville and you want to link up with a true homie, Lance.
Nice.
I can't speak. Hit up Lance. Seriously, he's a dog. He's amazing.
Dox yourself real quick. Drop the address so they can pull up to your house.
No, let's not do that. You can find it on ShareGrid if you
just send him a DM on Instagram. Okay, we'll put it down here.
Yeah,
put it down here.
It'll probably be Liver Thread right here.
No, you can find both of them. Elle, keep crushing it with your design. Your fashion.
Not
designer, sorry, your fashion. I should know that. I'm her cousin.
Oof, I'm sorry. But not her favorite cousin.
Not
Full
her favorite
circle.
cousin.
There it is. This is why.
Hope you guys like these. We'll be doing a lot more of them. Yeah. Have a good day. Keep creating. Peace. Bye. We are created by God to create with a driven purpose.
Number one tip.
Just start making stuff.
How do we seek? How do we ask for wisdom?
That's such a good question.
Have fun being what God has called you to be as a creative.
Mic drop.